A little spooky around here.
It's a Halloween edition of the Judge and JD show.
Right here, Pioneer, Fredericksburg, Texas. Going to be a spooky show.
I'm talking, but my mouth ain't moving. Welcome to the Judge and JD show, the haunted Halloween edition.
You're looking awful scary today, JD. Well, we got a big show for you today. We're gonna visit about a week I had and a few things JD's got going on. We got a lot of Halloween fun to talk about, and want to talk a little bit about the state of the bar and restaurant business and the economy in general and
overall economy
and how we can't all navigate that together. Some different ways we've seen and go from there.
Is my mascara running?
I think, yeah.
Asking
We need to
for
get
me.
you got any tissues, Ashley?
Did I make him cry again before the bit?
Yes, you did. You made me cry like a little
Hey, we
girl.
got a little what's this called?
A beanie.
What's this? Like you call it a beanie, Marty?
Well, listen.
Ashley, what do you call it?
In the German community, you
It's
ready?
called a little something different.
Ready? German?
Civil mitts. It's called a civil mitt.
Civil mitts.
This is what we grew up calling it. So.
It's called a civil mitts.
Not a beanie. So we got a civil mitts.
Civil mitts. Damn on.
You got a civil mitts and a crazy JD for you.
I prefer beanie. It's
I
easier
love
to say.
Halloween.
Here in Fredericksburg, we got to say civil mitts.
I love Halloween.
You're scaring me, JD.
JD's gotten a little out of control.
And you know what's crazy? My wife can't stand Halloween, so I always dress up myself.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, out of the pun. I'm going to let you read it. I struggle on every episode. We could play clips of me struggling with this.
And we're both old and
Because I can't read.
We're both old and neither one of us brought our glasses today. So
Would you like to borrow a pair of mine?
Ashley, I might need some help on this. Fells?
Really?
Fells? Ashley will get the detail on that. And we'll get you your civil mitts or your beanie, as Marty calls it. Here you go, Ashley.
Am I scaring you? Well, there's been a lot of thoughts and prayers going out to my good friend here, Judge Edwards and his family. Most of you probably know, at least the folks in the Fredericksburg community, but your mom was in just, and you and I keep talking miracles, but she was in a head-on collision recently
yes.
on 290, right? Or
On 290, out by the, kind of that intersection of where, I don't know what it's called now, was KOA, where Stagecoach is, convenience store out on 290. And she was headed home from school. She's a substitute teacher now, retired teacher. And we don't know exactly what happened, but we know she was in a head-on collision. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about some heroes we have here in this community, some very important people in this community directly. And then we've also got some heroes that came along out of nowhere.
And that's the miracle. There's some miracles.
There's several
in here. More
miracles
than one
here.
miracle in here.
Some of this cannot be explained, or it can only be explained one way. But she was in a car accident. First let me talk a little bit about our local guys, and we get out there. It was a very difficult thing to see and watch. It was a bad wreck. She had to be extracted. The other gentleman didn't have to be extracted, but he was in the other vehicle. He had to go in an ambulance as well. But she was air flighted into Austin, Del Seaton downtown, and it's just a phenomenal hospital. But our local guys showing up on the scene, and as you imagine, that was my mom, and I was pretty shook up. My wife was pretty shook up. And
I can't even imagine.
Somehow they got her out of there in one piece and kept us all in one piece because we were pretty shook up. There's just some sort of resolve it gives you and some sort of common thing when you pull up to a site, like that. We drove up on it, and my mom's in there, and a bunch of guys I grew up with her, and they're saving her life.
Whoa.
It was moving, to say the least. So I won't name our first responders by name because I haven't asked them if I can, but I would like to bring them on here, JD, if we can.
Yeah,
at some point. Our local guys and gals, from volunteers to our paid guys. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Our first responder community and the things they do. You hope your whole life you don't have to see or deal with that, but most of us will at some point.
When my late brother David had his stroke, I saw it firsthand too, and even the emergency room here at the hospital, and then the air flight pilots that we met because he had to be airlifted. He was at the hospital here, and when he had his stroke, and then they airlifted him to San Antonio. But yeah, to see these true angels without wings, so to speak. Angels without wings,
but.
To see them work and just how they care and on a daily basis, and not everybody can do that. That's a calling.
It's a calling, and it's a blessing in this community that we have people that do that and take it serious, put their lives in front of others and to protect others. For what was a very difficult to see at the time. Thing to see at the time, and we're still dealing with it. She's still dealing with a lot of broken bones and stuff, but she's still in the hospital. But to it's just something about it, and your this community, seeing those guys, just people I've known all my life, just saving my mom's life, literally. Now I do have to also give a shout, and we will bring them on. Whomever we can get in here. I do want to give our local guys a shout out
for sure.
But there's two more stories I'd like to tell a little bit about it, if I could. One is absolutely a miracle, gives me chills to even think about it. But when we drove up there was a big white, like a tour bus or like a charter bus, sitting in the middle lane of that intersection, and door open, and I got a call as we were pulling in from the bus driver. She was on the scene. That bus was full of first responders, first responders. It's an A&M program. They're call it a task force, and they work for the state. And they came off of that bus and swarmed that car like fire ants. It was unbelievable. And in my opinion, that's just a God thing, and that's just not. There's no other way to describe that.
That's incredible.
Our local boys had it. Local guys and gals had it. But to have this on top of that, and just
to get that early start, and your mom's, dire straits, literally trapped in the car, and oh my gosh, I can't even imagine the emotions your family felt.
I think I shared with you earlier. Yeah. I didn't necessarily. You don't think about it or expect it, but I guess it's just something about a boy and his mama. But I cried. I mean, I was so nervous. She wore me out, but she's doing good now.
Stabilized.
We're doing some surgeries.
A lot of
and
broken
things.
bones.
Broken bones, all on one side. We didn't have any internal problems or head injuries. How in the heck? I keep telling her that. How you did this, I'll never know.
But it's because your mom's got a hard head.
She does have a hard head. And she's pretty mean, too. She's nice to everybody else, but me.
I was talking to Judge on the phone, checking up on her. And he's like, well, she's starting to chew me out a little bit.
Yeah.
So she's
when she's
coming back. She's coming back.
That hand, she can't talk. That hand starts slamming down. She wants some. But at the site.
Steve wants some now too.
He wants in on this deal.
He's saying she's gonna be all right.
Gonna be all right.
That's your mom talking from the hospital, saying, "I'm here. I taught second grade. They ain't got nothing on me now."
Well, speaking of that, Marty, the funniest, I guess, kind of made light of the whole thing, and her teacher buddies are really getting a kick out of this. And I called our local superintendent and I said, "Excuse the language, but for the value of the expression." My mom was in the ambulance before they put her onto the helicopter, and they're working on her and whatnot. And she looks up and she says, "This ain't shit. I taught second graders for 35 years."
You know what's funny about that? I did some substitute teaching, and I tried to sub.
Yeah, and that's a calling in itself right there.
Keyword being tried to sub second and to fourth graders, and I told them, No.
I am
They
quit.
ran all over this dude.
Yes.
But I can see.
Being on the school board is about as close as I want to get to the second graders. But no, it's good stuff, and the community has engaged, and I'm deeply appreciative. My family's
we
appreciative.
talked about prayer chain when you and I were on the phone. Y'all have so many prayers,
and
so
she
many
hears
prayers.
every word we're saying. She acknowledges, she acknowledges. She knows what's going on. She knows what you're doing, and she's talking through her hands. She had that tube down her throat for help her breathe and stuff. It's out now, but she can't really talk well. But she's alert and knows what's going on. And I was visiting with her yesterday in phone call, and we still bank at Johnson City Bank, have since before I was born. And Patty there, one of the ladies there at the bank, called and said there's this huge prayer chain going around Johnson City. Then you got Fredericksburg. It's just unbelievable. And
Lots of love for Sheila.
Lots of love for Sheila, and we are terribly grateful.
The power of prayer, man.
Power of prayer, it works. I would suggest doing more of it, and that's kind of a lead into another thing we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But anyway,
Every day is a gift.
Every day is a gift.
I always say every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present, right?
That's it.
So,
That's it.
I mean, we just never know. The difference a day can make, the difference 1 minute can make.
You just, and it happens quickly. And now, I guess it's our 9th or 10th day since the incident. And she's in warrior mode, and we are, easing through it. And the reason we're in that mode, in my opinion, is because our friends and family in this community have come to us. So I know you dealt with that with your brothers and that sort of thing, and it's just people get engaged, and I'm appreciative. So anyway,
Thank you, Fredericksburg.
thank you, Fredericksburg. JD, so how are things out on the road, man, with the buses and that sort of
This
thing?
summer was, we had Jim on from the chamber
Yes.
on a past episode, but anyway, it was slow this summer. The numbers I've heard kicked around are 30% down, maybe business. That's a lot for Fredericksburg, but it was a pretty slow summer. The fall started to pick up a tad, but no matter how you slice it, the economy is affecting.
Everything.
People just don't really want to let go of money right now. It seems.
It
You know?
seems. And, what do they call it? Inflation reversal and all the things that our economy's going through. It's sort of above our pay grade and all that. And, but this has got to happen based on what happened with inflation and so forth.
Now,
but
you saw an official report.
I saw an official report. I follow the Texas Restaurant Association.
Okay.
In fact, Dan Garrison of Garrison Brothers has been with us on that sort of thing on here. Is a board member on Texas Restaurant Association. They're excellent for getting information out, particularly to small business, that sort of thing. And more or less, the report, in her body of her email, she says, this complicated economy we're dealing with is no longer on the way. It's here.
You got to face the music.
You got to face the music, and we're, numbers here down here a little bit of Pioneer, but we're chugging along and visiting with other business owners in the community and staff. I mean, it affects tips. It affects everything going on. I wanted to visit a little bit about that, JD. That I'm certainly not an expert when it comes to business or economy or anything else, but I have had some experiences, and what I've learned in business is it ebbs and flows just like life.
Yeah.
And it's easier said than done to say just ride this out. It's coming back. It's going to be okay. It's easier said than done, but that at the end of the day is what you're going to have to do if you own a business. If it's in a complicated environment like this, unless you've got a business that's able to ride that wave.
And everybody's affected by it. I mean, you go to the grocery store, and we're paying double what we were paying, just a few years ago. At least doubled, right? Everything seems to have doubled. But my point, one thing about Fredericksburg that's wonderful too, is that we're very fortunate to whereas We've got people in Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, El Paso, Del Rio, a lot of people in Austin, San Antonio, all these surrounding, I'm talking with my hands, but all these all these surrounding, they're going to still come here. They can take short trips here. I just feel like Fredericksburg seems to thrive
Right. Well,
during these times, thanks to all these bordering towns and cities.
the most revenue
Does that make sense?
the most revenue we've ever done at Pioneer was 2021. I mean, it's because people there was nowhere else to go.
Right.
And people wanted to get out and about. If you're in hospitality, another thing I've learned is, my great uncle at World War II, all that stuff, he passed away a long time ago. But he said, son, they will starve themselves to entertain themselves. We need to be entertained. We need to be around other people. And sometimes you got to, put that trip to Europe off a couple of years.
Right.
But you're still going to go to Fredericksburg and have a good time. And to your point, is what I found. But you just got to ride a wave. I kind of wanted to say something to business owners out there, small business owners, just only because I can relate to them. I too have laid awake in the middle of the night staring at the ceiling, wondering how the hell we're going to make payroll and how we're going to pay this and how we're going to do that, where the next buck's going to come from. And it can be a very, very stressful and really slow you down. And the key is not letting it get to you so badly that you just cannot move forward. You got to crawl out under the covers, get out of the bed for the day, get ready, get out there, and like I say, just have faith in the process, because it goes up and down. And like
That's
I say,
business, feast or famine, right?
It's just like life. It ebbs and flows. And who knows what's coming next, but I can tell you that we've seen several of these things, and somehow we're still here today and rolling along. So, speaking of prayer, like we talked about, sometimes that's all you can do. But,
and business is picking up.
Fall
is here.
The fall is here, and that helped. And so our business is picking up, and generally it wouldn't. But I want you our small business owners out there, you were not alone.
The truth of the matter, we've lost a lot of small business.
Good small business, good people.
So I mean, it's real. Right?
It's real.
It's real. But hopefully we'll persevere.
Hopefully it's just part of business.
It gets you thinking outside the box too. You have to think of other ideas. So you can either, like you said, throw the covers over your head and stay in bed, or you can think outside the box, get innovative, come up with different ideas, and flip that.
If you stick your head in the sand, you're going to get your ass run over. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
So don't do that.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. You are not alone. We've all been there. And so anyway, just a little message.
And always remember, the good Lord provides.
It provides. At the end of the day, it makes sense. And a lot of the creativity in business, in my opinion, comes from those slow periods when you're learning. That's when you're learning, is when anybody can have money just rolling. That is no problem. How you weather the storm says a lot about you and your business. And a lot of times it isn't as easy as saying just weather the storm, everything's going to be down the road. You got to pivot. In business, you have to pivot sometimes. So do what you need to, but we've all been there, and we will see. It's already starting to get better. And
let's have a great fall, winter, Christmas.
That's it.
New Year.
That's it.
A great 2026, baby.
And we wish you all the best.
But today it's
old Steve.
Halloween.
Let's go into the next segment, talking about a little Halloween fun. How's that?
You know why I'm wearing this costume, right?
Because you don't want to look like a human Q-tip?
Well, that and the time he called me a two-faced bastard.
He was being two-faced on me,
No, I'm just kidding. Happy Halloween, everybody. We want everybody to be safe out there. Hey, hoodie weather is upon us. It
does feel good out there.
That first cold front of the year.
Football weather.
North wind.
Halloween weather, football weather.
Maybe some fire pit weather. Yeah. Good stuff.
Man, the 1693 distillery came by. We're gonna have a Halloween party costume contest, that sort of thing. Here,
We're going to talk about that.
Tell you a little more about that. But 1693 distillery came by, and it looks like they're having a Halloween party.
What do they got going on? Talk to us.
Looks like they're costumes, cocktails, and creepy good times. So wear a costume. Looks like they're going to have a food truck there and face painting for kids. They're going to have family type stuff.
Oh, family, live music.
Yeah, don't forget, if you wear a costume all weekend long, you get a free shot, too.
With the busy, crazy week I've had this weekend, I didn't do a lot of homework, but I do know a lot of the kiddos go to, into the Stone Ridge area and our great community.
Yeah, Stone Ridge is one of the more popular areas.
In our neighborhoods.
And safe.
Do the trick-or-treating and that sort of thing.
A lot of the bars are going to be having costume
might be a good night to bar hop, But
As long as they come here first.
What are we doing? What are we doing here, Monty?
We have a costume contest. So we have karaoke and a costume contest. The party's going to be from 7 to 10. We have a surprise JD guest, DJ.
I forgot about that.
A surprise DJ guest for the karaoke.
Who's in the karaoke?
I don't know.
A live, a guest DJ. I'm not going to say who it is, but I hear he's really creepy, and he looks as white as a ghost.
From what I heard, he's kind of creepy.
He is kind of creepy,
but
so
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the only time of the year he actually can be this creepy and get away with it.
So somebody told me JD's going to be doing a little karaoke around here on Halloween.
I heard he seems like a dead cat, but I heard he's going to give it a shot.
So, yeah,
so put on your costume, come on down, prizes. Oh man, it's just going to be seeing everybody step up and sing in karaoke in their costumes. It's just going to be fun. I'm excited. I love this time of the year. So we welcome locals, and if you're coming in, if you're watching our podcast right now and you're coming into town, come on by Pioneer.
Come on by Pioneer. Come on in.
Oh, God. He really likes Halloween.
I do.
What was the famous radio guy besides you? Oh, Steve's had enough of your shit, JD.
I've done it.
That was perfect. He said, I'm dead now. Can you please shut JD up? I'm dead.
Are you talking about Wolfman Jack?
That's who I was looking. I couldn't come on.
What you talking about?
I figured, besides
Steve,
where'd you go, Steve?
Where'd you go, Steve?
He's hands up. He's had enough.
But yeah, anyway, it's going to be fun here at the Pioneer Bar, 212 East Main, Fredericksburg, Halloween tonight. Big costume contest. Be careful when you're out driving in any town. Watch the kid. Slow down.
Those kiddos are everywhere, and I don't know about y'all's, but I know mine aren't paying attention. They're thinking about candy and whatever. So.
They got a one-track mind.
So watch out for those babies and when you're driving, and it'll be a great night.
All right. Y'all have a good Halloween. Be safe out there.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the Judge and JD Show.